Good evening. Okay, we seem to have a little problem. Just bear with me for one moment. Technical issues are just insane in the last. Just bear with me. Sorry. Sorry. Can I just check? Because I just got a message saying that it couldn't be viewed on Facebook. So I just need to double check that with you guys. And I need to obviously have a look myself, see what's going on. I have no idea. I've had that many technical issues today. It's just incredible. I'm surprised I'm here. I'm really surprised I'm here. So it looks like it's not going to my Mystique page. Wow. Okay. I don't know why. I have no idea. Anyway, technology, seriously. If I know there's only a few watching, so just as everybody's tuning in, I'm just going to check this on my phone. I'm going to go into the actual program. I'm not surprised. Like everything, I'm surprised I'm here. There was outages and storms and no internet for a week, and then I lost power today as well. So it's just been incredible. So I'm waiting for you guys to. Oh, now it's going to take forever for me to log in. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go over to comments. Oh, bugger. Okay. Please view. Okay. I just needed to write. Okay. It's now saying that it's okay on. Can someone just confirm, please, if it's on both pages? It normally streams live on Mystique International Psychic Medium Clairvoyant page, and then it also streams live on Mystique Psychic Live TV page. I was told that it had an issue with the live TV page, which is what I was trying to correct when you all started jumping on. But yeah, just need to check it's going to both pages, if I may, with you guys. That would be fantastic. Oh, everything's falling off my desk. Of course it is, because Spirit's just going crazy. That's the type of day I've had. Also, too, okay, for any regulars, please know that tonight is a special night. I have a sensational, one of a kind, special celebrity guest coming on. It's been a coup to try and grab this person, so they'll be on a little bit later. And yeah, that's hence some of the stress today with no internet and no power. So that was all fun. Having said that, it is going to be a pretty eventful night, pretty funny night, probably filled with frivolities. I was running a competition, and no one's guessed it yet. If you still want to continue with that, that competition was to guess my celebrity guest. Now, the last clue I gave was Channel 10. And you guys have been sensational in choosing people like Oprah and so many other people that are just so high up there in the world that I wouldn't have a chance to get even past or get numbers to their secretaries. I don't even know how I'd get them on the show. However, this person is a celebrity. And they were recently on a show earlier this year, very, very successful. and absolutely took it by storm, and just a beautiful, beautiful soul, inside and out. Fun, vivacious, intriguing, yeah, one of a kind, and I guess a bit outspoken. So probably hence why that person and I really get along, and really and so forth. So as I said, it'll be fun if you want to keep guessing. That's, some people were a little bit close throughout today, but sadly no one beat. So the prize is up to $200. Now I've either got crystals to the value of $200, or a surprise gift to virtually the same value. So I can see a few of you are jumping on and saying, so no one's guessed it yet. I know, and it's all good that you're, typing your comments and being interactive. That's sensational. As I appreciate that. And when somebody guesses it, I'm probably not going to say it straight away, because then that would out the person straight away. But I'll kind of let you know when we got there. But no one has got it just yet. So very, very outspoken, very colourful, very outrageous. Can't speak highly enough of this person. As I said, took the world by storm. But yeah, interesting concept. Channel 10. Michael, I'm surprised you said Danny Minogue, because the main clue was Channel 10, and Danny Minogue is on. Oh no, she's on 10. I beg your pardon. She was on The Masked Singer. I beg your pardon. I'm incorrect there. But no, that's not right. Anyway, Stella, good evening. Nat, good evening. Tammy, Philippa. There's some that have already breezed on by. A little bit of housekeeping, as you know. Please like and share this live feed to either your friends, to your own other pages, to any other groups that you're involved in. For a guaranteed reading tonight, pop $15 into my PayPal, which is running on the bottom of the screen. Melanie, Carl Sandleads, I don't think I can get past his bodyguards either, but although I nearly did once. But anyway, no, not to worry. So as I said, yeah, you can keep guessing until we sort of like get that person on. That's okay. Yes, back to housekeeping. Sorry, back to housekeeping. Like and share this live feed to, as I said, to your other pages, to your to any of the groups that you're in. That if I have time, if I run out of paid readings, if I have time, then they will. I will get to some free ones. However, guaranteed one. Please pop $15 into my PayPal account, which is running on the bottom of the screen. Nita says, hi, Ms Tique, hope you're well. Thank you. Yes, I am. A bit stressed, but all good. Liked and shared. Would love a what's coming up reading, please, if drawn to me. My guess is David Campbell. No, because is David Campbell Channel 9? Yeah, because he does carols. So Channel 10 is one clue. Okay, I've got to find this page to... Listen to me with my big sigh. Did you all just go, my God, what is wrong with this one? Seriously, if you knew my day, up until 45 minutes ago, I had absolutely no power, no nothing. Violent storms today. I've had no internet for a week. I raced out and bought some pocket modem thing. My God, that took 4 hours to get that functioning. But anyway, All right, let's all like and share. Just a little hint. I can actually see above your name if you've shared. Just a little hint. And I do know. I know that everybody, tries their best to donate the money for the it's an exchange of energy as such. Everybody who knows me, that knows I connect with spirit very, very deeply. And yeah, so if you're wanting one of those, guaranteed one of those readings tonight, then please do so into my PayPal account. That would be absolutely awesome. And if we have time at the end of the show, I might be drawn to a couple of people for quick reads or a pull of a card or so forth. So I'll just finish sending this off to a couple of more groups. And I hope you're all doing the same and not getting bored with my little running commentary on what I'm trying to do, because that can all probably drive you crazy. I think that's enough. I think we'll just see how that goes. Because seriously, yeah. And if you can let me know when you pop the 50, when you've donated the $15 into my PayPal account, that would be absolutely awesome. So, are we still on the guessing game? I know some of you, like I even said late last night, it was probably, it was hard for me to kind of go, I've got to call it, because I could see so many people just trying and racking their brains, and some people saying, oh, I'm giving up, because it was getting too hard. And I understood that. That's why, hence I threw out it's not Oprah. Thank you for thinking that I'm so famous that I could get hold of Oprah. Thank you for that. But throughout the lifeline of Channel 10. So is everybody also having problems with storms as well? Because a lot of you are saying that your PayPal is down. So has people got problems with their own internet? Look, if that's the case, I can't obviously put it up on the screen. If you want a guaranteed reading, send me an instant message, and I will instant message back you my bank details if that helps. So yeah, if you want that, that would be awesome, and we can get that rolling. Okay, Stella, no problem. So if you want a guaranteed reading, yeah, just instant message me, and I will send you my bank details. So maybe that will help. I don't know why people's PayPal are down. I mean, maybe mine is. I doubt it. I mean, everything else has gone wrong in the last week with technology with me. So hopefully that's not the case. But there has been a huge amount of storms around today, and yeah, many people are having many issues. So if that's the case, just instant message me, and I will send you that. So let me have a look who's here. I said hello to everybody. Hello. So you've had storm. Philippa, you haven't had the storms in Brisbane yet, but they're heading your way. I tell you what, they've been pretty wild here today. Been torrential rain, and just the lightning. Just even a minute ago, it was so close. I kind of went, "Oh, this is a good thing." But anyway, hello, Mary Ann. Hello, Talia. Taylor. Is it spelled that way? Tammy, I've said hello to. Karen, Robin, Shelley, Philippa, China Beasley. I don't think I've seen you on my line before. Good. Oh, you're saying good morning, so you must be on the other side of the world. Mel's here. Nat, Tammy, Michael, Philippa, Stella, I've already mentioned. Nita, Peter, are you from overseas as well? I can't remember. It was kind of meant to be. Maybe. I'll tell you what, I only got here on the skin of my nose. I mean, my hair's an absolute mess. Anyway. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Tracy. I was kind of looking to see if the ones that have really been hammering out Tanu, is it? If they were hammering out all the guessing, whether they would jump on board, but not as yet. But that's okay. It's only early. Look, it's only early in the night. I've only been going 15 minutes, and I haven't even done a reading as yet. But how is everybody going? Because today is a really special number in the spirit world. It's a really special number in the numerology world. In the psychic stuff for me, it's quite significant with the 22 to 22. So all the twos, and to some when they look it up, it will say certain things. It will say, love. It will say opening your heart. It will say, your intuition kicks in and all that sort of stuff. And that's all very true. Like, don't get me wrong, it's all very true. But I also find with all the twos that it's quite an extraordinary number for you to concentrate on yourself. Because, I mean, all the twos, yes, generally you kind of think, oh, well, someone else has to be involved, because then that makes two of us. But you within your own heart and soul, and when you look inside yourself, and when we look at intuition, when we look at manifestation, when we look at, talking to ourselves in a positive way, we become two in a way. Do you understand what I mean? So to me, the two is very significant about each and every one of you individually. Okay. And I mean, I know everyone's gone through a horrible time through COVID, and is COVID coming to an end? Question mark. Is there another one coming? Question mark. I said in round one that it would probably end up like the flu, and everyone thought I was crazy back then, but that's okay. I don't really mind. They were my thoughts and my thoughts only. Carol, hello. Mel, no, another wrong. No, Tristan McManus. I think he's got a. They've all these people got big agents, I think, and managers and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, ironically and bizarre, just down the road this morning, at sunrise this morning, because a few of you guessed Sam Mack from Sunrise Channel 7, and he was actually filming just down the road on the corner of the beachside this morning. I saw it and I just went, that couldn't be any more ironic. People are going to kind of think, oh, no, that's who it is. And I must tell you, I had an influx of people telling me that it was Sam Mack. And it wasn't Sam Mack at all, but it was just ironic and coincidental that, he was filming just down the road this morning. So pretty funny. But coincidence or not, he was talking to people that were focusing on raising money for men's mental health. And I think that is fantastic, because the guy that runs that is absolutely awesome. And I put a post up on my page virtually saying, come on, guys, talk about mental health with one another like you talk about your cars. I almost said cars and women, but I thought, I know someone will jump down my throat about that. So I just left it at talk to your mates about mental health like you talk to one another about your cars, right? Because it's extremely important. Most people kind of put together that wow, that is so long. Okay, someone just sent me a really long message on my thing, but anyway, I will get to that a bit later. That needs to kind of go up on the screen. Stella, if you wouldn't mind. Okay, so Nita, are you on my instant messenger? Yes, you are. I've actually, is it the same? I've just sent you, which looks like you already have from a while ago. I've just sent you an instant messenger with those details. So for anyone that's having, let me just recap. Anyone who's having problems with, yeah, thank you. Anyone that's having a problem with PayPal, because a few of you are saying that, please just instant message me and I'll send you my bank account details, okay? Instant message me via Facebook Messenger, and then I can just flip it on to send you back a message. So this morning, Sam Mac from Sunrise, Channel 7, Mystery Celebs Channel 10, was filming down at DY Beach this morning, but his focus was on he gave away I think it was $5,000 to the company who is actually looking after mental health in men. So any guys here tonight, don't hold back. Like, I know it's a bit of a stigma, and all men don't have to be muscular and manly and all that sort of hoo-ha. I mean, you can if you want. You can come and parade here if you want. No, I'm kidding. You can if you want. However, mental health is really, really important. And sometimes in a world of psychology and counseling and whatever else, sometimes it kind of, I'm not saying myself, but sometimes I've seen it get lost in the mix where it's an expectation that it's generally women who go and seek out help. And mainly because a lot of men don't put their hand up and feel that it's weak. If they, hey Tinker, they feel that it's weak if Debbie, the special guest, has not come on yet. That will be a little bit later, probably around 8:30, 8:45, I understand. But I will let you know when they've popped into the backstage thing on my program, and I can tell you that they're here. But yeah, so any men that are watching, please take it seriously, because when you talk to your mates, you talk about cars and you get into the nitty-gritty of this working this way and that working that way. But what's wrong with talking to them about what you're feeling like, what your brain is doing, like what troubles you're going through? Like, nobody should be embarrassed, because we live in a world today that everybody has an issue, everybody has baggage, and I don't like that word, so I'm actually going to correct myself. People often say, oh, I don't want to get remarried, or I don't want to start a relationship with someone that's a bit older, because they all come with baggage. They actually don't come with baggage. They come with experience, and they come with lessons learnt. It's really, really important for you to think about that, because it's not actually baggage. Because they could have gone through a shit breakup, don't get me wrong, but they would have worked on themselves so they could become, again, the best version of themselves, so they could put themselves out there to get love again. So it's not actually baggage. It comes with lessons learned and experience. And, if you're a bit of a shitty guy or girl, the person that's gained the experience is actually going to pick that up a little bit quicker. Do you understand what I mean? So, there's a lot that goes on, behind the scenes with mental health. And, it just need to be careful of that. And I know some of my friends, male and female, struggle through certain life experiences, life torments, somebody ripping you off, somebody mistreating you, somebody ghosting you, somebody doing the wrong thing by you. Like, they're a problem and they're an issue, but let's just get the wording right. They're life experiences, and if you don't know how to fix, the life experience yourself, then you seek help. You seek advice. If your car breaks down, you go and get a mechanic's expert opinion. Do you know what I mean? If you're buying flowers for your girlfriend and you don't know what they like, you rely on the florist to let you know what looks good, what women like, what, whatever. If you're not sure what perfume they like, again, you get advice from someone who knows, like, someone who sells this all the time. So make sure, it's a real pet thing of mine right now, make sure you're kind of using the right words so you're kinder to yourself, because you deserve better and you don't deserve some of that hoo-ha that goes on, yeah? Okay, so for the ones that have got my bank details, can you also let me know, because it doesn't come up on my screen, can you also let me know if you've sent that through? I'm asking a lot of everybody tonight, aren't I? I hope you're actually all excited and looking forward to actually seeing who this mystery celeb is. I know I am, because it's pretty. I won't say who he or she. Pretty cool person. And I know everybody that I can see on the list that's watching right now, I know you're going to absolutely adore this person. You're going to think, oh my God. That's what you're going to think. Okay. Nita, you have. Can you send me your question, my love? That would be fabulous if you can. Shaylee, you've been ghosted by 3 different people in a row. It's horrendous. I don't know how people seem to think that that's okay. I've been ghosted by a partner that I was with for 4 years, but known him 22 years. Does he not even think the friendship is worth saving? I mean, oh my God, like seriously. It's just like, to me, it's like, who do you think you are? You know, if you want to treat people like that, they're not worth having in your life, like seriously. But anyway, Nita, question please. Can you Tanu, we're doing for a guaranteed reading. It's $15 into my PayPal account. And if you don't have PayPal, inbox me for banking details. Okay. Nita. Question. I love you, Nita Lyons. Can I have your question? And we will get into it. We'll get into some readings. It's already 27 minutes and I haven't done one reading yet. Okay, it's my dad's. Oh, wow. Wow, it's my dad's 22nd Dreamtime anniversary today. And would love any messages. Oh, how beautiful. It's actually my pop's birthday today too. Good old Pop. I worked it out earlier. He would have been 110, God love him. Yeah, I couldn't imagine being here at 110. So God love him. Debbie Bailey, I've just got yours through PayPal. So after Nita's, I will go to you, Debbie. So when we get a bit further into Nita's, if you can, because the screen goes up so quickly, then I will also need to know what your question is. I know, Nita, right? Like 110. It's just extraordinary. But you know, he's a ripe old gentleman, and he does come through quite a bit in spirit world, which is, you know, is pretty cool. You know, he's a lovely bloke, and you know, I have always honoured and respected him in many, many ways. So okay, there's something crazy going on here. Okay, Tanu, I've just checked PayPal and there's nothing there. So at this point, so sorry, Debbie. Yes, I've highlighted that. Can you just hold off on that question for a moment? Peter, you have no desire to be 110. Neither do I. Well, I'd probably be a pretty funny 110-year-old. Do you think? I reckon I'd be pretty cool. I mean, no one believes my age now, so at 110, that would be absolutely awesome. Anyway, Tony, not Tony. See, now I'm just going crazy. It's been one of those days. Nita, back to you, my love. 22nd Dreamtime anniversary. I would love any messages, please. Do you know what, Nita? One of the main things I actually want to say to you is, when you, okay, now I've just been bombarded. When you start too many things, why is it that you feel that you don't have the confidence to continue what you're doing? Like when you start something, and I'm pretty sure this is Dad. When you start something, there seems to be so much energy, so much, I won't say over the top, because when you start something, it's always very exciting anyway. So to me, it's not over the top, but there's a sensation and like a go-to moment that you're kind of always, looking for. Well, if I do this, this is going to do this, and when I do that, that can follow on with that, and all of a sudden, it seems to go to a lull, and to me, it just seems. Okay, I was just about to say, to me, it seems like you don't have the confidence in yourself to see yourself progressing much further with some of the great ideas that you have. But I've just also been advised that when you're a child, you're very much the same. So, you'd say something, or you'd be writing something, and you'd come up with a great idea, even for a game to play. I'm hearing game to play. And yeah, it was almost like from that point, it was like, oh, well, no one's going to worry about it anyway. No one really cares. No one's going to be interested in what I have to say, what I have to do. So I'll just forget it type thing. It seems like, and you know me, I say everything with respect, but it seems like these constant put downs that you give yourself, you don't quite believe that others are excited to hear what you have to say. And I say that with respect, because there are people there to listen to you and to actually help and guide you through some of these ideas that you've got, but you seem to often sell yourself short. And I have to bring it forward also to in relationships. You sell yourself short far too often for my liking and for Dad's liking. There is something there that is kind of holding something in his hand. I wish he'd show me. He's holding something in his hand to virtually say, you are enough. But what is stopping you now? What is stopping you? I wish you'd show me. He's got his hands so tightly closed with something in there. I know there's something in there, and he's just not showing me just yet. And look, I'll respect that, because obviously it's personal to himself, and maybe that gives him strength to come through. Okay, wow, I just got the chills. Did you give him something shortly before he passed? Now we're going back a while, because you're talking about the 22s, but does he have something? It's normally the opposite way around. It really is the opposite way around, because normally we are left with something that someone gives us as they're passing, or just before they pass, because they really want us to have it. But I'm being shown the opposite. I'm being shown that he has something of yours, and it's so tightly, like so tight in the clenches of his hand. It drives me nuts, because he won't actually show me. It must be extremely personal at this point. I'll wait and see if he wants to give it to me. Okay, you're saying you're not sure about what it is about you that stop-starts and things like that. To me, it is confidence. I want to bring this forward to you, and part of this comes from him, and part of it I'm going to add something to it. Okay, for me personally, because it's what I hear from another spirit guide, which is actually one of mine. Okay, now what I get combined with him and one of my spirit guides is that when you're in your early 20s, you seem to have come up with a great idea on something, and somebody who was close to you squashed you down. It was almost like they, when you see in the movies and someone gets a like a book or a piece of paper. I'll do it with a tarot card, because it's always fun, and they they across your face. When they do that, they kind of brush it like this. They kind of slap you with a piece of paper. But then to me, that's like brushing it aside, so to speak. So as I said, I'm hearing from him It was in your 20s. You thought it was fabulous. You thought it was going to bring you joy. You thought it was going to, okay, he's taken me up a ladder. So that's virtually Spirit saying, right, you're going to, rise in a success like type of way. So I want to go career path that you thought about something that could really be good at, that you could actually achieve. And you had passion, but somebody wiped it. Somebody kind of went slip slop. That's not for you. What are you doing type thing? And yeah, it was just really bizarre. But at the same time, because that person, or you thought you knew that person so well, it rocked your confidence. It rocked your confidence. Did you lose a locket when you were a child? Did you lose a locket when you were a child? I have to bring that forward. Not big, just small. Just a small locket. Did you lose that at some point? Something, if it's not an actual locket itself, it's something that looks like or resembles a locket. And I think that you thought it broke. Okay, let me read this. I remember dreaming about doing ads on TV commercials for a car brand, and my partner put me down, and 3 months later it was on TV. Okay. So you had an idea. You rolled with it. Well, you wanted to roll with it, and if it was a dream, it was something that you wanted to do, and he shot you down. Well, where did he end up? Where did he end up? Because man, someone shoots me down about an idea, it's like, okay, I'll just go off and do that myself, and I kind of then don't involve them, or I don't worry about it, or it's kind of like I push it aside, because I kind of go, do you know what? In life, I mean, not everything is going to work, right? This is all Nat. No, it's not Poe. This is all about when you when you do things in life, not everything is going to work. And if you're going with that intention that you have an idea or you want to go and do something, if it doesn't work, you know what? That's okay. We beat ourselves up about this all the time, and it's more about, do you know what? It wasn't right for me. But you don't need someone to condemn you for giving it a crack. I mean, seriously, if someone is not going to support you, even if they don't agree with something, I've had friends over the years that don't even, still today, 40 years later, don't even have a conversation with me or entertain the idea about me being psychic, because it's not their cup of tea. And I don't force the issue, because if it's not someone's cup of tea, then it's not my problem. Do you know what I mean? But I spent years as a teenager suppressing this because of people's opinions. I don't do that anymore, because I teach a lot of you, like every time I come on, that everybody's entitled to an opinion and everybody has an opinion, but it's what you do with the opinion that matters. So Nita, I actually want to say to you, when you start, Dad is what I would say, he's not upset, but he's concerned that years on you're still stopping and starting as if you have to appease somebody. You don't have to appease anybody. The only person that you should be worrying about is yourself, because when you make yourself happy, or if you believe that you're on the right path and you're doing good, or you're a good person, then, as I said, someone else's opinion, yes, you can listen to it. Look what we all do at Christmas parties when we have them. We haven't had them for 2 years. But when all the families talk about politics and rubbish, and they all end up fighting. Like, seriously, like I think I'll repeat this 1,000 times. They all have an opinion about who's good and who's not good and whatever, and you may not agree with that. But there's no need to start a fight. It's just like, yep, that's your opinion, good. Why bother? Why waste the energy? Mel Anthony Kalia, my God, I think he would have a wall up, of many managers to get through. Although he did live with me before when he first sang on what was that show, Australian Idol. He did actually live near me. So did his parents. Maybe I should have tried to connect with him then. Anyway, Nita, does all that resonate? I know you said you can't remember. Excuse me. You can't remember the locket. It may come to you because you were a child when you had it, and that's what Dad has in his hand. So it's something that is very sweet and very significant to him. And I actually want to say to you, there's times. Okay, so he's taking me somewhere wrong. There's times actually that it was under your pillow. So I don't know if it was something to do with the tooth fairy as well. I don't know whether something was in it, but it was kind of evolving around a few things. Where, yeah. He's telling me it's very significant and it's very, very sweet. And you had it when you were young. So I need to take you way back to when you were young. You groomed Anthony Calia's uncle's dog. Lucky you. Wow. Tanu, I may have some towards the end, but, I don't have any right now because people have been paying. So they get priority. That's the whole idea about they're the guaranteed ones. Nita, I hope you find peace, because he is at peace himself, and he's actually got a smile on his face to virtually say, okay, baby doll, look it. Okay, I just heard the words, come on, baby doll, lift your spirits. Pardon the pun, spirit, but that's what I just heard. Lift your spirits and follow through on some things, because there's something out there. Yeah, Debbie, you're in a second. There is something out there, and you just have to tune in and sit quietly more than once. Sit quietly. Oh, my guest has just arrived. Awesome. You have to sit quietly to be able to tap into what your real passion in life is, because while you keep giving yourself a little bit of an injustice, that's kind of like, it's kind of like not honoring who you are and not honoring what is going to advance you in life, if that makes sense. So I do hope that all that resonates, and a lot of respect for Dad, because he's a trooper, and he holds you so special in his own heart, which is probably why that is a heart in his hand, because he holds you so special in his heart. And when I say the word princess, we can all use that in a funny tone by saying, oh, you're just a princess, and that's, kind of used the wrong way. But I want to say it in the loving and kind way that, you were his little princess, and he thinks the world of you. And please don't ever forget that. Really don't ever forget that. Okay? He's a gem. All right, next I have Debbie. Now, because I have my mystery celeb in the, what I would say, what do people say? They say it's backstage, they say it's in the waiting room and whatever. Then, oh, okay. That wasn't supposed to happen. Let's go back to me for a minute. I was going to say to everybody, does everybody want me to bring him? Oh, there was another hint through. There's another little hint then, because I know a few of you asked overnight. I just heard him giggling in the background. I didn't let loose overnight when a few people asked me if it was a him or a her. So
it depends on the day, darling.
I'm gonna bring you through, my sweetheart, because everybody wants to see you. Where are you? Okay, I can hear
How
you.
is everyone? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Oh no. Hold on. Should I do stop cam and then back on? We back on?
No, you're still blanked out.
No, I can
Yes,
see me.
can you?
Yeah,
I can.
look,
You're
I'll send
you're
you a
black on
video.
my screen. Isn't that bizarre? Because you're. Let me just try a few different screen layouts. No, you're still coming up black on my screen, my love.
Okay,
Oh, this is
what can I
awful.
do?
I've been teasing everybody all day
Should
for
I do?
24 hours.
Should
I've
I
been
leave?
teasing everybody.
Should I leave and then re-enter and see if that works?
Yeah, maybe try that. That'd be wonderful, love. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is so funny. That is so funny. But anyway. So, Deb, you were going to be next, but I just want to see if I can.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, look, see your name's there. This is crazy.
back on. Can the viewers type?
Yep.
Maybe ask if they can see me.
Okay, I mean, I can't see you on my end, but my lovely viewers, can you see the David?
Hello.
Can you see? What? People are saying we can see you. So for some unknown reason, I can't see you, but
Oh, can
viewers
everyone
can.
else see me?
Can you, David? Can you actually see comments on the side of your broadcast?
Comments. Oh yeah,
You should.
everyone said yeah, we
Yeah.
can see. Hello
Yeah.
everyone. I didn't even know all the comments. Hi.
So
Okay.
after all that, I don't get you on my screen, but they all get you on their screen.
Oh,
How
I'll have to send
awesome!
you pictures. How is
Exactly.
everyone?
Exactly. You'll have to send me some screenshots. So anyone who's going to have any screenshots, please send them to me because I obviously don't have them. David, the David from I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Hi.
You're
Did you enjoy the
over into
show?
you're over into Mystique. And I love that you accepted the invitation because you are absolutely gorgeous. And
Oh,
I
thank
loved the way, I'm just going to tell you, and I'm sure the viewers will all understand this. I love the way and however long it took the producers to work out how to do that or to talk to you about how to do that, the entrance that was made and how it was all done and the secrets that had to be kept, it was just extraordinary.
it was
How
the
was it for
funnest.
you?
It was the funnest experience that I've done. It was surreal and having to come up with the stories to everyone. And what you see is we're in there 24 hours a day. So you
Yes.
only see such a short amount. What is it, like an hour and a half an episode? So you only see the hour and a half. So many stories were missed. And I was so angry because I got so creative.
Well,
But
that wouldn't be hard with you, I don't think.
oh, it was so much fun. And it all came out, because it was obviously a week of lying to everyone, and then the lie was revealed, and I kind of missed it. I was sat there and I felt so lost, and I was like, I have no purpose in this jungle. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, all these celebrities are here, they've got purpose, and my purpose, and bloody nobody from the Gold Coast.
Were you were you actually frightened of rejection at that point?
Yeah, 100%. I thought
Yeah.
everybody was gonna go, "Get off, you don't deserve to be here." And I was lucky enough that everyone was so amazing and delightful and welcomed me in with open arms. And I think they all got to know the David, which was all a fake. And then they got to know David Sabritsky, myself. And
Yes.
yeah, it was good to spend one-on-one time with everyone. It was amazing.
And I love that, you're rocking the 8-inch heels, that's for sure. That was just, hilarious.
Yes.
I nearly today put that up, but I kind of thought if I put any comment up about someone with 8 inches, I tell you what, my thing would have just gone crazy. So I thought, no, I'm going to leave that one alone because that wasn't going to be a hint because that would have just gone crazy, and I would have had too many explanations on that one.
Well, I'm glad you've invited me. It's so lovely that you've invited me. I love seeing psychics. I love having readings. Me, Emily. So after the finale, me, Emily, and Maria, we all stayed in Sydney. We had an Airbnb and we went to where Maria's agency was. There was a reading next door. And I said to the girls, I was like, let's go and have a reading. And we seen this woman, and everything she said was so accurate. And I did a voice note and watched it all back, and we'll listen to it all back even. And it's just been so spot on. Like the past few weeks have been insane.
Wow, that's awesome. Well,
How do you
now
do your readings? I'm so
now I've got
interested.
I've got something to live up to now, don't I? I'll be smashed by someone who's in the city. No. Look, I'm probably a little bit different to your average readers, and I'm sure my viewers can, can concur with that. What generally happens with me, because I have a couple of main spirit guides that are always around me. But then I also, when I tap into someone's energy, whether it's through looking at a small picture, whether it's just talking on the phone or whatever, and a loved one comes through from them for them, things I believe, and it's known in the past, things come through that only mean things to the person I'm dealing with. Like, they mean nothing to me. I'm just virtually the channeler. And I can say things sometimes that are quite blunt, and then I kind of go, oh, that was a bit rude. But then I say it as I hear it. So I don't sugarcoat a lot of things, but then also too, I'm very mindful of how the person would receive it. And if it needs to kind of, where I have to say, do you know what, this next bit is really a little bit personal. Because sometimes when I do these lives, sometimes I've connected with suicidal people that have committed.
Okay.
The spirit is passed by suicide, and I've virtually had to say to the person that I'm reading for, it's a very delicate matter. Do you want me to air this on a live show? Because I have viewers from around the world, and it's a case of I ask permission. I mean, one-on-one when you're in private, sure, that's very, very different. But something on here, if I hear something that's a little bit delicate or a little bit tough, I kind of go, do you know what? I have to kind of ask permission. But generally,
well, you're in luck with me, my love. I'm thick-skinned and I'm an open book, so you can go ham. I'm open for it.
Really? So nothing off limits with you?
Nothing off limits. No. I feel like I
Wow.
was put through the ringer going on a national TV show. I knew what I was getting myself in for. I was expecting to be trolled. I have thick skin, so yeah, you can go ham.
All right. So if anything is delicate or anything is a little bit tough, you still want me to go ahead?
For sure. 110%.
110%. So when you had the last reading, when was that?
That was the week. It was the first week of February.
This year.
So,
okay.
yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Okay. And did you feel, were you inspired when you walked away from it? Or did some things take some time to resonate? Because I was doing a reading just before you came on with a lady, and her father came through, and when spirit shows me certain things, he was holding something in his hand, but he wouldn't release it in his hand in the beginning. So in the end, it ended up being a heart locket. It didn't resonate with her in the first instance, but I can guarantee that it will in a couple of days. So did that happen? Has that happened to you in the past?
Oh, 100%. I'm not going to lie to you. I went to the
Okay.
reading after a few bloody cocktails. So I'm not going to lie to you. So thank God I had those voice notes, because I listened to it back twice now, and then it really resonated with me.
Okay. So if you can, I'm just going to tune into, because I can't see your face, but which is, I don't know why that's happening, but anyway, but I was going, that's the main thing. I know what you look like with your clothes on. Just so the viewers don't get too excited over that. As you can imagine, I just want to quietly kind of see who I've got about, because as I've been talking to you, I've virtually got a nudge by about 4 different people, and so I always have to work out whether those whole 4 people are for you, or whether they're just kind of waiting in queue to have a chat. Because when I open my crown chakra and allow spirit to come in with the greatest respect, then sometimes a lot of spirits jump in at once that, you know, have nothing to do with the person that I'm actually reading for. So it's sometimes a bit hard to kind of work out who's for who, if that makes sense. But I want to actually go. The first thing I actually heard from someone who I believe is a family member of yours, and not a. I won't say it's a first in line family member. I want to probably go about 3 or 4 behind. I just kept hearing that the number 8 was really significant for you, but also too, I believe that that number 8 in being significant is more about when you were 8. Okay. I kind of need to go there first because that's where they're taking me to. So around the era of you being 8 or 8.5 pushing on to 9, there was a lot of changes that went on with you. But I also want to say there was when you got, well, I'm going to add the 8 onto like an 18 because they're jumping that quickly. It's unbelievable. So I have to look at the 8 and then I need to go to the 18 as well. Okay. So 8, I want to say that a couple of things went on with you personally that you were very unsure of, and that you were found it hard to kind of reach out to someone to actually have a conversation with. By the time, of course, you got to 18, there was 3. I'm being shown now 3. There was 3 people who you knew, and I want to say family members, that you knew that you could talk to, but I understand that one person let you down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. The person that let you down, are they still in your life?
I don't know. I'm trying to
Okay.
think if I know who let me down when I was 18.
Okay. Because spirit was very quick to kind of say when you were 18 there was 3 that you could open up to, but one just ended up just letting you down. But I understand from that that you kind of took on a how would I say, like a very different persona for a while. It was kind of like it put you back in the box. And I say that with the greatest respect. Okay. It was almost like that you had this vision of what you wanted to do. And because you spoke about, you know, who you are, what you want to do, where you want to go, all this sort of stuff, that somebody just squashed that and kind of went, you know what? No, you can't kind of do that. You can't be this, you can't be that, and try to put a stop to it. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. That person doesn't pay your bills, and they will never pay your bills. But I want to kind of go from 18 to a little bit forward from that, in how long it actually took you to kind of come out of what I want to say that you put yourself into, like a bubble of protection. And it wasn't that you were ashamed of anything. It wasn't that you didn't know who you are or didn't know what you wanted to do in life. But when you get squashed, like what I get shown is like your heart wasn't damaged, but you and when someone is heartbroken from a love affair, like spirit normally shows me like a slice through the heart. But I kind of get with you that it's the base of the heart that I'm being shown as being squashed. So that virtually means that somebody really almost like, you know, put their hand on your head to kind of push you down a bit, to kind of go, do you know what, you can't be who you want to be right now, because it kind of goes against the grain. So to me, a while after that, it seemed to me that you put yourself in this protection bubble where you kind of went, I don't know what to do now. Like I have all this to do, but I get told I can't, but I want to, and I don't want to upset that person, but I kind of need to respect who I am. So there were, to me, a multitude of turmoil from about 20. Okay, it's the 22nd, so I get told the 22nd. So 22nd, 22 onwards, there was a bit of you being inside a shell instead of being who you are. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's crazy because so much when I think back to the age of 22 or when I think back to the age of 18, I have done so much in such a short period of time. Like I've lived all over, I've experienced so much. So when I think about how I was mentally at 22, it's crazy.
Yeah. It was like if we looked at you, I mean, even forget, you know, the TV show, before you went on that, if we looked at, you know, who you are then to who you were back in 22, like there's a massive difference.
Huge.
Like to me, I just feel like you were. It was almost like, you know, in if I had to say Roman years, you know, it's like you're put on a slab and just, you know, pulled from pillar to post in trying to please everybody. And again, I say everything with the greatest respect, so please don't take this the wrong way. But it was almost like you went through this long period, not a short period, a long period of actually trying to please everybody else instead of yourself. It was almost like you said yes to people, and oh yes, I'll do that, and yes, I'll do that, and yes, I'll be like that, and yes, I'll be like that. I think that for a while there, you thought that if you did all that, that people would actually like you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's to me. To me, I kind of got the shivers then, and feel that you went through a bit of a lonely, sad period then. Because I guess that, you know, that it was hard. I mean, you've had energy from and great energy from a very young age. And I guess at times you didn't know how to produce that, or you didn't know how to display that, because there was always somebody that said you can't. I mean, you know, I've had the same issue for years where someone, you know, will say, "Oh, you're too loud. You know, you're too funny," and you think, you know, you're all about the bling. And I go, and so, like, I'm not hurting anyone. I'm not doing anything, you know, I'm not doing anything wrong. Like, and if it's not your cup of tea, like, you know, you don't have to be rude type thing. It's just, I'm never going to change my personality for anybody. But I feel that yours, with a few people, where they were trying to change who you were just so they felt better. How did you overcome all that to kind of go, do you know what? If this, excuse my French, but that's how it comes through. If this, I am who I am, and I'm going to be who I am, and if nobody likes it, they can bugger off. When did you make that decision?
I think you don't know who comes into your life, and I think lots of people will come into your life and you will go with the flow and you'll compromise, and because it's maybe someone that you love or someone that makes you happy or you feel like it's right at the time. So you compromise so much, but you can also lose yourself a lot.
Yes.
And whether that's changing yourself because, you know, so it's very easy to lose yourself when you're in love, or it's very easy to lose yourself when, you know, you're being told that's the right thing.
Yeah. I just think that there's a few years there that you kind of, unfortunately, through no fault of your own, you know, at times you kind of listen. I mean, I have this favorite saying that I teach a lot of my clients, that, you know, everybody has an opinion because everyone's entitled to an opinion, but it's what you do with that opinion that matters. And I think, you know, I think if you had known something like that phrase when you were younger, I think things would have been a little bit different, because I just feel with you, because you have such a giving heart. And I have this lady that keeps interrupting me, virtually saying I need to get a message through. So I'm going to stop for a second. This lady, I think she's almost a direct descendant. So I want to say probably one back. Wow. Okay. She's only about 5. What is she? Why is she looking at me like that? Okay. She's about 5'5". She's almost got hair like my own. Except, you know, probably not as crazy, but a bit of a, you know, a buffy hairstyle type thing. But loves pearl necklaces. Like, often has pearl necklaces, often one up around her throat and one coming down a little bit longer as well. That seems to be her favorite way of wearing things. And always has a flower. Like, when she was younger, used to always have a flower in her hair. But then as she got older, that was kind of like deemed as being a little bit silly. So she chose, often if she was going somewhere to a restaurant or something like that, she'd always have a little flower, and she'd kind of put it beside her. Do you know who that is?
I don't know.
Okay, because she's saying to me, I don't know if any of this makes sense. My vivacious little buttercup. So buttercup is a word that seems to be quite prominent in her vocabulary, but also shows me like a yellow sunflower, not quite as big as a sunflower, but like a yellow flower that also seems to be significant outside a kitchen window.
I
Anything come
wonder.
to mind? Anything come to mind on that?
No.
Okay, maybe store that up for a little bit later, because she's obviously trying to come through with the message, and if
What's the message?
well, the message is to look after you, because she can't do it anymore. So if you're not resonating with her though, then you don't know who's trying to tell you that.
Any message is a good message. Like, just tell me anything.
But you know, if you're not knowing who that is, I mean, I would have said she was because one removed, I would have said she was an aunt or somebody who was like a mother figure, but not a mother. Like not not your mum, but like an aunt that's almost, you know, sometimes looked upon as, oh, I can go tell my aunt anything because she listens type thing. So then they can't. So spirit always then brings them through like a mother figure.
Oh.
Because
No,
if I go to grandma, to me it's too far removed, and what she shows me, I don't kind of get the age of a grandma that's coming through.
Oh, okay.
And if you know, so if you have lost your grandmother, if she's extremely young at heart, then so be it. But I don't think it's your grandma.
No, I was thinking grandma, but I don't know if something about a sunflower, so I was gonna have to check with my mum.
Yeah, please do, because it was almost like, you know, she's showing me, and I need to tell the viewers, I have not met David in person, and I reached out to him while the show was on, so I don't know any background, just in case anyone thinks that this is a bit of a setup. But she keeps showing me, so this woman has got to be around in your childhood, because she keeps showing me you as a child. So as a child, even then, and who's got, wow, okay, a massive full head of hair, even as a child.
It's very true.
Okay. So were you kind of taken already, like, you know, with your hair? Was it a bit of a you know, even growing up, was it a bit of a mirror thing even back then?
I'm a Leo, so every Leo needs a good mane.
Because this lady seems to be showing me like all this laughter, but you know, you even as a young boy, like, you know, in front of a mirror and always touching your hair. Like, I hate anyone that touches my hair. It's like, I don't touch my hair, it's full of hairspray, you know. But I kind of, with you, it was almost like, as a child, it's almost like, you know, oh, my hair, my hair, my hair. Like, so that's what she's showing me. So your mum might know who she is, but she's showing me as a child with you continually, being very funny and very picky is the word that comes through with your hair. But also
Wow.
too,
Still the
I
same.
also get a gentleman. Wow, have you got a lot of relatives in spirit world? Like,
I've got a few.
I'm kind of getting one or two after, like, they're just kind of lining up here. I don't know. I don't know whether they're just spirit that wants to come through and have a chat, or spirit that's actually, you know, designed for you. But anyway, I'm going to go with this gentleman that seems to be pushing at the head of the queue. And virtually, okay, he's showing himself to me as like a gentleman who would stand on a railway station in a suit, in a what is that thing called underneath? A vest, and one of those watches that's in your pocket with a chain, and a briefcase that's so old fashioned it's like a leather, not even leather, I don't know what it is, like it's like a box, not necessarily like a suitcase or a thing that you'd see today. So he's standing like he's standing at a railway station. So whether the railway is significant to you or not, it's either that, or he's like the man who works on the railway station that keeps the time. So he might only just be a very good timekeeper as such, and never wanted to be late, or always wanted to arrive on time, and kind of everyone else got in trouble, like, you know, if they were a bit late or whatever. So he seems to be this timekeeper, because I see him continually looking at this watch.
Maybe
Maybe you need to take all this to mum.
I know. Maybe I need to take it to mum. I'm like, who's got the watch?
Maybe you need to take all this to mum, because these people are pushing, you know, other people aside to get through and have a chat.
Yeah, get him to push the watchman out, because I don't know who.
Don't know anyone that fits that description.
No.
Okay. And nobody that's passed over is like a timekeeper.
No.
Because you've got to understand too that spirit shows me things. They don't just say straight out, oh, I'm a timekeeper. They don't just say straight out, oh, I work on the railways. They show me images that I have to piece all that together.
Yeah.
Because spirit cannot speak in sentences, because spirit is just energy. So spirit show me things where I kind of go, oh, okay, what's the relevance in that? And then, but yeah.
And then I have
But
to
maybe also to ask Mum about that, because he seems to be shaking his head saying, you know, nobody pushes me anyway. So seems to have a you know, bit of a
He's
thing about
definitely a
himself.
relative of mine.
It's kind of like, you know, don't push me out of the way, I'll push my way in to kind of, you know, have a bit of a say. But anyway, again, these people could be and I have to let you know this as well. These people actually could be coming through me just because I have you, but they could be people that are just, you know, saying hi to Mum or your
Yeah.
dad. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, you know, or could be a spirit waiting in line for some of my viewers, but I doubt it, because I normally like tuning into the person's name and stuff like that. So maybe those last two are for Mum, and maybe you need to run those by her. Okay.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to go off all the past stuff for a moment, because that's not, you know, too relevant to your, well, it is in a way, but not too relevant to your life right now as such. But I kind of need to get you to look forward to October. Have you got anything planned for October?
I do.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So
I'm excited. And now I'm a celebrity. I'm learning how to plug things. And so I am just about to sign a contract for the Jack Arena crowning in Grafton. So it's their first year. They are doing crowning for males, females, trans, drags, everywhere. And it's a small country town in Australia. So I'm super, super excited to be a part of that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well
Yeah, so it's
done.
the first thing I've locked in that I know that's happening in October.
Wow.
But yeah, I'll be moving to Sydney soon.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, I'm based on the Gold Coast, but how old are the viewers here?
Oh, look, my viewers range from anywhere from, you know, 20-year-olds up to, well, I don't want to be rude, but, you know,
Perfect?
I don't know,
So I can
60,
say
whatever.
Dick. The Dick is terrible on the Gold Coast.
Oh, really?
It's terrible. So I need to move to Sydney because there's lots more men.
Correct. Correct. I would have thought the Gold Coast would have been running a mockery, but maybe not.
I feel like I am the only gay in the village here.
Wow. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's the women up there that are running the mockery and not the men.
Oh, it is. There's like 10 hot women to one hot guy here.
Wow. Oh, you'd be struggling, mate.
Mate, I am struggling.
Oh, we can't have that, because that will play havoc with your subconscious, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And just a word of warning, you'll because the other side of my business is psychology and counseling, but the subconscious, if you allow negativity to stay in your subconscious, when you go to bed at night, your conscious mind goes to sleep, your subconscious doesn't. So anything that you go to bed with, please cleanse that and get it out of your mind before your head touches the pillow, because what it does is the subconscious rolls with that all night long without you knowing, and the next day the problem seems bigger, but the problem hasn't really changed.
Oh.
Does that make sense? Because I got told to kind of say that to you, because I believe in the last few months, when a few things have gone on, you just keep you keep with a lot of, again, I say everything with the greatest respect, but you keep with a lot of what ifs, and those what ifs aren't really a reality, so they can become negative in your mind because they haven't kind of played out the way you want them to. And yeah, that can kind of create some havoc with the way that your subconscious then starts to control, starts to bring in some anxiety, and starts to bring in some really broken sleep.
Yeah,
And
100%.
not broken sleep in a good way, because we all love a bit of broken sleep when there's a bit of, you know, nookie on the side or whatever. However, the broken sleep with you is through, it's through the subconscious going over some things. So don't don't hang on to things for too long. Like if somebody says something, if somebody is, and it hasn't really sat with you, don't overthink things, because I feel like in probably the last 2 months, that you're doing a lot of overthinking. And when you're overthinking things, the situation is being altered but only being altered by yourself.
Yeah.
The situation is not being altered overall. It's just being altered by yourself. So that's kind of got to stop. And if you're really struggling with something, just write it down and worry about it later, because when you keep it in your mind and overplay it, it just becomes a nightmare. And there's things that I feel that you're missing out on because the mind is kind of then stuck on something else. You know what I mean? But October, I know you announced that's something that's really fabulous, and I think that's awesome. But I don't actually feel that it's that. I think that there's something else coming your way. But before then, I have to alert you to 3 different contracts. So I'm seeing 3 different contracts across the table. So people are going to be in connection with you. I want to say June, July, right? Where you're going to be poached by a few people. Okay. Now, whether that's I believe one of them is a bit bigger than the other 2, but I'm mindful of one of the contracts because there's a lot of small print in one of the contracts that you're actually going to come undone with. So whatever comes your way, June, July, and the contracts are put on the table, please, please, please read everything over and over again. Because I feel one of them has too much. One of them is going to be fantastic. Like one of them you're just going to blitz. And I don't have a problem with that particular contract. But one of them, and it seems minute to the legal world, but it's almost like they're deliberately hiding some things, and it's written in such crappy small print.
Okay.
It's kind of hidden where you don't really see it. So I'm being told to really be extra careful at the next 3 contracts that are put across the table.
Okay, cool.
I see them virtually coming in the same week. As I said, June, July, I virtually see them coming. And again, I want to say to you, and no disrespect to you with your age or anything else like that, but I feel that there's a huge sense of excitement at first, and then there's a huge sort of overwhelming by going, oh my God, I've got all this at once. And so you get that excitement, which is totally understandable, but then all the fine print must be read.
Yeah.
Because one is just going to lock you into something that you're not going to be able to get out of, and it's wrong for you. It is so far wrong from you. It's virtually someone that's looking at, they like what they see, they like who you are, they want to use you to their advantage, I beg your pardon, but they want to change who you are at the same time, and that is not you. But you won't be told about the big change that they want you to present as. And we can all play characters, like, we all know, well, not we all know, but we all know that, people that are on screen in movies and things like that virtually aren't who they are on the TV screens, right? So if someone's playing a character like a murderer, that doesn't mean they're a murderer off screen. If someone is playing the role of a bully on TV, that doesn't mean they're a bully off screen. But there's one contract that seems to really change who you are, but it doesn't do you justice, and then you can't get out of it when you realize how wrong you feel on the inside doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I just need you to be a little bit extra careful, because I'm also mindful, and this is my dad talking in my ear, God rest his soul, virtually saying, don't how do I say this? You're the pick of the crop right now. That's how I'm being told. But being the pick of the crop doesn't then give someone the authority to change who they are, because then in general the crop dies. Do you know what I mean? But and I don't want someone coming in to overpower you, to show some bullying to the extreme where you feel trapped into something and then you can't get out of it because of a legal thing that's written in there. I just want you to be very, very careful with that. So as I said, there's 3. One's going to be super, super exciting, because I just see I've got about 10. I gotta be honest, I've got about 10 spirits in front of me, all jumping up and down like lunatics, almost throwing a party. And then I have one that I'm okay with, because that you're still allowed to be who you are, and it's quite exciting. But then this third one, I kind of go, oh shivers, I hope you don't go for the third one, because it's gonna, in a way, it's gonna break who you are. And I have to be very, very clear with that. Okay. So if it means that you need to get an agent, a lawyer, or whatever to oversee the whole lot, then do
That's
so.
what my ex was good for, you know. He was good for one thing. He was a retired barrister, so he went through all my contracts. Where that guy was good for one thing.
Oh, well, you know, one thing's better than no things, you know.
Oh no, he's also good for another thing. He'd be great in conversion camps in America. He's easily turned me lesbian for sure. He's drove me straight back to Fanny, honestly.
Oh, wow. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Well, I mean, I have 7 years of a law degree. I can sniff it out a mile away when I know something's hidden in a contract. Yeah, it's just, to me, it's just like, in a way, I'm grateful that spirit comes through with that, but I just get ticked off knowing that there's still people out there in this world that want to hide certain things when they're supposedly like, oh, look, it's all open. It's all in the contract. It's all in the contract. But how many people get a mobile phone? Do they read the 20-something pages of the contract? No. They just sign the back page and they walk out with a new phone. Do you know what I mean? So be very, very careful there. And who is the... I'm going to go to love. Well, maybe not love. Maybe I'll go to lust.
Yeah.
Maybe it's lust first before it goes anywhere else. Have you met someone different in the last couple of weeks that you got a bit of a shine to?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. Be careful.
We're all single here. We all like to
I have to say this out loud, because this is how it was said in my ear. I have to address the elephant in the room, which sounds bizarre, but what that is, and people mightn't understand that when I say the word fantasy, but sometimes when there's a new, okay, so it's going to come out wrong, but I have to say it as I hear it. When there's a new flavor on the block, then sometimes we can let our fantasies, excitement, whatever, run away with us. But I need to pull you back on this one. It's a good meat, but I can't get you. Oh, I sound like I'm bloody your mother and I'm lecturing you now. I need to kind of stop you pushing for things to happen too quick, because there is excitement there. There's a good connection. There's good communication as well as a good energy feel. But I just think with all the overexcitement, you want to kind of move that fantasy along too quick. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. You need to, I know this might be hard to hear, you need at this point to show some self-control.
Oh my God. Tell me something I've never heard before.
But self-control will do you some favors. Right? Because this one is worth exploring. Okay? Because I feel in the last probably 6 months, there's been 2 that you got overexcited, not together, but that you got overexcited about. I had to clean that up, didn't I? That you got overexcited about, and it was almost like they wanted you for a bit like a, I've got to say it as I hear it, play toy, and then move on. Does that make sense?
Like a fuck and a chuck.
Yeah. Yeah. But you got overexcited because you felt that there was one of them in particular was going to go a lot further, and you were excited about that. But that's when I have to pulling that back, as if to say that's a bit of a fantasy world, because we want it to happen. So part of our subconscious goes, oh, this is good, and it creates this fantasy world. Then when it doesn't happen, we kind of crash too quick. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So this one, please don't let those fantasies, they're good to have fantasies, don't get me wrong, but don't allow them to run off. Like, don't go too far with them. You can fantasize about what you want to do to one another. Sure, I'm not going to stop that. I'm not your mother. But, but you can't allow oh my God, this is going so well. So next week we can do this. And you can't go too far ahead. And this happens with everybody because it's a really good feeling and our adrenaline goes and our endorphins go and all this sort of stuff. It's a
when
great
people get
feeling.
you excited.
Yeah, so it's fun. It's nice.
Yeah. But I need to put the brake on it a bit.
Yeah, if you show too much too quick, like if you look at some of the heterosexual relationships, sometimes if the woman shows too much too quick, it scares the man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they go, "Oh, that person's a bit too much. Can I handle that?" And they get a bit scared for no reason. It's just that person is overexcited. That's all it is. When you break down the guts of it, that is actually all it is. So, but Spirit is saying, please don't on this one. Please hold back a little bit, because by holding back a little bit, you get to enjoy and get to embrace and be involved in something that grows. But I feel that grows to something really good. Yeah. Because you've also got to be careful these days too. And again, I say this with respect. You got to be careful that nobody is just tapping into you for what you've just done.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Because you can be, I mean, please correct me anytime that you think I'm wrong, but you can be quite vulnerable at times. And when you're meeting someone or you're getting along with someone or whatever the case may be, if part of you kind of drops and some vulnerability sets in, then someone is also it's very easy for someone to jump in and virtually take you to the cleaners. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Please be very careful of that, because it's easy for people to do that when you are actually not aware of it at all, because you're generally having a good time with that person and you're enjoying their company, and you actually don't know that you've let your guard down and that your vulnerability is creeped in, and then they go over the top, and then it's almost like they have then too much excitement, but you're caught up in that excitement, because again, I have to use that word fantasy, and then it can all go to shit very quickly.
Yeah.
I have to be a bit brutal with that one, but that's what I see if you allow too many people in too quick. Because as I say, I've been warned by Spirit that some people now will kind of take you for what you've actually done recently.
Social climbers.
Yes.
Hungry tigers.
Yes. So you just need to be wary of that, because we all want to have fun in life. And I don't mean I didn't mean to say that as a downer, but I had to warn you. Otherwise, if I heard from you later and you said that happened, well, why didn't you see that, Ms Tique? I kind of went, well, okay, I did, but I didn't want to say it. Do you know what I mean? I'm always brutally honest in what I hear.
Good. You should be.
Yeah, well, there is a lot of fakes in the world. My viewers know that's one of my pet hates, because sometimes I have to work beside a fake and their energy is just bullshit and I hate it. Which is clearly why I win awards and they don't.
You think you have to be straight up.
In there, but I mean, how do you feel about all of that?
Good. I feel like everything that you said, like definitely I've been aware of certain situations that I was getting in, especially with guys that I'm talking to right now. And, I'm very aware. I feel like I have a very good intuition and,
Did you not believe in that intuition when you were a child? Did you think that when you felt things or when you felt a bit weird and you kind of went, oh, that's not quite right, but your head overruled what I always call the tummy, because I always say, people always say their gut feelings, because sometimes even as adults way in their life, they will say, but sometimes the gut feelings just sound so bizarre that I didn't go with it, that I went with my head because my head overruled my gut feeling. But then I realized I was wrong. But then I got the shits with myself for a week because I should have listened to my gut feeling. But I feel with you when you're a bit younger, you kind of didn't know what to do with that.
Yeah, for sure. And even to this day, like, I still get feelings. My instinct tells me, you know, this person isn't a good egg. But like, I always want the best, or like think of the best. So,
Mhm.
you know, I kind of don't listen sometimes, and I let certain people into my life, and then I find out, wow, should I listened?
Should have listened. One little, well, I mean, I've always said this even on TV. Like, you know, when I still work for Psychic TV, but we're not kind of on a TV channel right now. And I've been there for, well, I've been there for 10 years. But what I've always said loud and proud on TV is that your gut feelings or your intuition is always like 100%, 99. Sorry, not 100%, but 99.9% correct every single time. But unfortunately, sometimes our gut feelings seem so bizarre that we allow our head to go, don't listen to that rubbish. We got to listen. We got to go with our head because that sounds, you know, that sounds better and that sounds feasible. So I need to go with my head. And then when we realize that we're wrong, what everybody kind of falls back in the trap of doing was go, like you just said, oh, I should have listened to my gut feelings. But they beat themselves up and they kind of go into a bit of a lull for almost about a week. What I sort of say to people, do you know what? If you haven't listened to your gut feeling and it's worked out the opposite way, all you've got to tell yourself is, like, be honest with yourself. Stand in front of a mirror and go, shit, I stuffed up. I didn't listen. I know better now. Move it on. And you're only upset with yourself for 5 minutes. Why
Yeah.
waste 5 days of crappy energy when you can just kind of tick yourself off in a mirror for 5 minutes and then you're good? Do you know what I mean?
Just slap yourself in the mirror.
Correct. Correct. Bit of a slap.
Funny story, actually. Do you want to hear a funny story?
Go ahead.
So when I was in the jungle, so the producer told me I was the only one out of all the celebrities to have a diva moment breakdown. And it was when I came out as a non-celebrity, I felt like I wasn't that I didn't know where my place was. I felt like I had no purpose. So I went into the talkie and just burst out crying. And I was like, I need to speak to the producers. And then I was like, I don't know why I'm here. I feel so out of place. And the producer, Alex, who I love, talked to me and he was like, you've done amazing. Literally get your hand and slap yourself across the face. And I did it. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to go and shut up now.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's just a quick, well, because in my world, when you embody something, like if someone says, you know, oh God, you too much bling, oh, I couldn't wear that. Like if I walked away going, oh, is that a negative? Like if I absorbed all that, I'd feel like crap all day, and
If
then the
you
next day,
absorbed it, then you should do a bloody slap to your face as well, because you
correct,
shouldn't listen and you
correct,
should only listen to the positives.
correct. And look, I don't absorb a lot of stuff. And, you know, does that mean that a lot of people walk away from me? Sometimes they do because people don't like hearing the truth. Uh, but you know, it's always done in my world. It's always done like in a kind, loving way. Like have no judgment on anybody. I've never set out to hurt anybody. God, I've not even set revenge on my ex-husband, for God's sake. Like, you know, and he was a disaster. Like he was like full on domestic violence and charged with attempted murder. But I've never kind of said, oh God, I've got to get him back. Like I'm not that
Oh,
sort of
don't
person.
worry. Tell me his address. I'll go and egg him. I'll
Yeah.
get him back for you.
But you know what? Because I kind of go, do you know what? People like that will come undone. People will see the truth. And I don't have to sit here and continually justify myself. People will work it out who was telling the truth at the end of the day. If it takes them a long
True.
time, not my problem. My aim, and I help a lot of domestic violence women because it's a case of you have to come back to having your self-confidence very, very quickly, or you'll go down a very dark path. You
I
know,
believe
so
in
you
karma.
so you can't allow people to overshadow you, like, you know, the narcissism or the control or the, you know, you got to do it my way or all that sort of stuff. You can't let that take over your life because it's just like you might as well be in prison. You might as well be told what time to get up every day and go and have lunch at 12 o'clock and that's the end of your day type thing. You know,
And
you
that's
can't.
why I just broke up with my ex.
Maybe, see, Spirit always tells me to tell a story that will resonate with the person, and my viewers will know that a million times over. I always get told, say this, say that, because it's going to resonate. And I kind of go, really? And then I
It
don't question
resonated.
them. But yeah, But this is something then that you need to kind of go, that person has the issue. I don't have any of the issues. If they don't, and I've got I love my saying, if a person doesn't like you for who you are, fuck them.
Fuck them.
Seriously. Because they have no right to be in your life if they question who you are. We are all individuals. We are all very different in who we are, and whether we've got confidence or whether we don't have confidence, or whether we've got a big nose, a short nose, or whatever the case may be, fat, skinny, whatever. I like to think that, I actually thought the COVID would do this to people, where anyone who had money, nobody could do anything to stop, staying indoors and all the rest of it. I was actually hoping that everybody would kind of set their own reset button and appreciate the simple things in life, because having no judgment and just being a normal human being, I think people have lost that in the world of business and all that sort of stuff, and people need to come back to their grassroots. And if anyone, whatever words, and I always live by the spoken word, but whatever words he actually, what I'm getting told now, bestowed upon you, and whatever nasty little kind of comments, I believe there was about 4 or 5 towards the end, that really kind of, and that's probably why I saw that your heart at the bottom of it was a bit shattered as well as, don't let those sit inside your body for too much longer.
No.
If anything, do like a healing cleansing on yourself, and I can walk you through that, off screen and whatever. I mean, I can walk you through how to do that and upheaval all the crap and move it on, because I have a tattoo on the inside of my arm that says acknowledge, accept, relief, with a butterfly underneath. We can't change the past, but we kind of acknowledge what part we played in that, scenario happening to us. And if we played no part in it, then why are we carrying the guilt from it? We shouldn't, and we shouldn't harbor anything from it. And then when you realize that, you're able to release it in a really calm and loving manner. They're 3 simple words, but it can take a lot to upheaval crap and move it on. And you've got to be prepared to, do some work with it. But I feel with you that once you do that, totally cleanse you, and you totally won't take on board other people's crap, and you'll be able to then lighten yourself a little bit more, where you can actually feel and see it coming the next time it goes to happen.
Yeah, you have to see the red flags.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you feel?
Good. It's been amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm
You're very
dying
welcome.
to grill my mum and ask her about
those two people.
Who the 2 people were.
I also believe, and I probably want to speak to you privately on this, I also believe there's a friend of yours that you've lost.
Yeah.
I'll probably talk to you about that off one day off screen, because I think it's rather personal.
Yeah, I would love to hear more privately. I'd love to know what friends tapping in.
Yeah, I think to be quite honest, I think there's a couple that you've lost, and one in not so great circumstances.
Yeah.
That's probably all I want to say on that one, because we are on an open forum. And yeah, I think that's too personal. And I will touch base with you and go through that another time, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you for joining in. Like, it's been a bit of a hoot.
Yeah, and thank you everyone for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed my reading. And yeah, stay tuned. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at David
follow. And look, David was going to put something up on Instagram today, and I kind of went, no, don't, because I haven't disclosed who you are.
I'm the fake celebrity.
We can do all that now. Like, and I know, look, I know the audience. I know some of you are waiting for your own readings, but I truly appreciate David's time. I've loved having you on. It's been extraordinary, and I love who you are. And
I'm sad you couldn't see me. I'm going to send a picture of us together.
Oh, good. Thank you for that, because that'd be. I have had a couple of friends do a few little screenshots sending my way, because I said I couldn't see you, but but we can talk. We can connect on FaceTime and stuff like that for me to do that other thing for you, and also talk about that healing process that you can actually do on your own, but I can teach you like how to do that, because then you then have that for life, and then when circumstances happen throughout your life, you can always revert back to that and just do that yourself. So that's all good there. But I so appreciate you coming on. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for accepting my invite.
Thanks,
firstly,
fabulous.
because I kind of know that people that have been on shows. I had Jake Edwards from Maths. I had him on a Christmas special we did for charity, like last year, and the viewers loved him, and I know my viewers are going to love you as well. And so everyone that's still watching, please go on to Instagram and follow David, and you can see all the antics that he gets up to, and you can also follow these 3 great things that are going to, well, not 3 because there's only 2.
Bye, Debbie.
Great things that are going to
come. Bye, fabulous.
Thank you, David.
Thanks, bye, guys.
Bye. Bye. How extraordinary was that? That was awesome. He's such a beautiful, beautiful soul. That was, I know some of you guys have been waiting a while for your reading, and I do apologize. But David is a wonderful human being. I watched him through Celebrity Get Me Out of Here, and the reason why I reached out, just so you guys know, was that I felt and I saw some things on that show that I kind of thought needed addressing, not in a bad way, but I was actually getting messages for him while he was on the show, and I kind of went, wow, how do I deliver that? And so we've been chatting for a little while, and I just kind of said, you know what, I'd like you to come on my show. So I hope you all enjoyed that. Anyway, see, big surprise. Anyway, so Debbie, I need to come back to your reading. I've got you and I've got Stella. Debbie, can you please let me know your question, because so many messages have kind of scrolled up that I've just kind of lost. I've lost a lot. So if you can do that, that'd be awesome. If you can let me know what you wanted answered. That would be cool. And Stella, if you're still here, I've got you after Debbie. So Debbie, if you can let me know what question you have for me, that would be amazing. Okay, here we go. That was a bit of excitement for the night, wasn't it? He's a good kid. Will I keep my job after this year? It's been a bit of a tough roller coaster for you, my love. Wow, I kind of see. What do I see? I can't. Sorry, I have no charge. Let me break my table at the same time. Debbie, I see some confusion around you, but I also see, and I've got to say it as I hear it, some tit for tat around you. So I kind of think that there's possibly some rumors flying around, or there's things that they may not be rumors as such, but I believe that there's certain things that you have heard that kind of can also possibly substantiate some of the thought processes that you've been going through. So I kind of want to say to you, like, have you heard directly that where you work is totally going to change? Because I don't feel like that the place is closing as such, but I feel like there is a bit like a bit of a, what I want to call like a restructure. But I'm not getting told that your job is on the line. I'm getting told that you're okay. But what I do get hit with is, do you actually want to be there? So I actually feel like there's something going on around September so I don't know what's happening in September. But I feel that there's changes within you, not necessarily the company itself. But yeah, something that's around September, which is the 9th month. But yeah, just there's some things going on that you have some, I want to say, unanswered questions within yourself. Which can be a little bit frustrating, can be a little bit disturbing if you can't work out what you really want to do in life. Like, if you're waiting for someone to say, well, if you finish up here, this is what is in store for you. Like, I'm not going to be ridiculous and say, you're going to win lotto and, you're waiting for that sort of news, because that's just crazy. But in hindsight, it's almost like, and you know me, I say everything with respect, but it's almost like there's something within you that, are you expecting any changes within yourself? My question to you is, and from Spirit World, is after September this year, do you actually want to be there? Because I think with a restructure, there's ample time. There's ample time for you to explore a few opportunities here. If you want to decrease your hours, start looking at virtually, and not going into work and saying, this is what I want to do, but I don't want to do it till September. I want to say to you, start working out a little plan that's going to suit you. Okay? Because I think with you, if you nut it all out on paper, you'll work out what's good for you and work out what's not. Does that make sense? And I just think that, with that being said, there's what I want to say. It then becomes it becomes so much. What is the wording I'm trying to find? It becomes more real when you work out what you really want. It's nice that we, when we're still working, we get guaranteed income. We know what we're getting. We know what we want to do. But September, show me if there is a different significance with the number 9. Because I want to say September is the time that you will start making different what I want to say, like, different things for yourself, different ways of doing things, different ways of even, like, planning out your day as such. But is that going to be enough for you? Are you going to be okay to, if you chose to reduce your hours enough for you to do virtually what you want to do? And I want to say to you, like, right now, that I think that you're not sure what you want to actually do. Excuse me. I don't think you're actually sure that if you went down to, like, part-time hours, you kind of got this vision in your head that, I could go do this and go and do that, but it's not a plan. And without it being a plan, then it then becomes a bit of my favorite word tonight, a bit of a fantasy. And then when it doesn't play out, then we get upset. Okay. I'm hoping to travel for a month in September. Looking forward to doing things for me. And my God, good on you. And look, September, when I was first getting shown September, and that's why I had to ask the question about work, because as I said, I see the restructure there, but I feel that your job is safe. If you start working, like, nutting out a plan for yourself, if you then want to reduce your hours so you can go off and do, like, even short trips and things like that, so you can enjoy life and do whatever, then you do that. Okay, you do that. Okay, you already work part-time, but the company is going through structure. Things are changing in management. All right, so if you're already working part-time, then can you go less than that? Because I don't actually see you giving up altogether. I really don't, which is why Spirit was showing me, like, lesser hours. Because I actually don't think that you're you're probably gonna say I'm wrong, but I can't see you giving up for good. Do you know what I mean? I think there's still part of you that likes part of there, whether it's the engagement with others, whether it's being social or whatever. I still see you, being okay. I still see you wanting to be involved, wanting to have that sort of interaction as well as. But I also see that after September, you know, things virtually change. And I guess also too, like, you know, I have to look at, you know, COVID in the mix too. When someone wants to travel like you do, and let's face it, you know, you generally mix with a great excuse me, a great amount of characters in your life that are fun to go away with or fun to go and visit. And I think that's, you know, I think you've missed that. And I think, you know, part of that has kind of drained you a bit, where it's almost like, you know what, I feel the need. I feel the need that I got to get out. I feel the need to, you know, I have to go and do this. But I don't think you're ready to give it up altogether. I'm not hearing anything from Spirit that makes me think that you're going to give it up altogether. I really don't. I think you enjoy it too much. As I said, I think you enjoy the company. But after September, I also believe that Christmas, I mean, strange that Spirit says Christmas is going to be very different for you this year. I mean, thanks, Spirit. That's the obvious. It's going to be very different for everybody. However, I feel like, pardon the pun, I feel like there's something different on the cards from you. I think that Christmas is going to be something extremely different. I excuse me. I think it's all that talking with David. I feel like something around Christmas is going to be something very, very different to what you've done year after year after year. And not saying that you do the same thing every year, but something that hasn't been done before, something that hasn't been fully, I guess the word, explored to do at Christmas time. That's going to come into play this Christmas. So Christmas is going to be very, very different, but in a really good way. And I think it will. Oh, they show me this. They show me these things, and I've got to say it. It's going to reduce you to tears, but tears in a happy way. Okay. There's something very loving and very gentle that will be happening at Christmas time. But you know, you'll have tears of joy. Tears of joy. So I hope all that has helped you. As I said, I don't see you finishing up your job altogether. I know you said that you used to work part time, but all I see is a further decrease, because I don't think you're ready. I really don't think that you're ready to not work, to be quite honest. I mean, I know there's some fun to be had, and I know there's life to be lived. And you know, pardon the pun, we all kind of want a bit of to live our lives to the fullest after COVID. But I think it runs a little bit deep with you. I think that, you know, I don't want to use the depression word, but I feel that COVID has grounded you more than you probably thought at first. So I think it's grounded you in a way that that you know that doesn't feel right to you at all anymore. And you've got to spread those wings, and you know, you've got to go do all that. So no, I don't see your job finishing at all. You know, it's almost like you want to start calling the shots, but start doing a plan, because a plan is what is necessary. And you can't I mean, you can do it successfully without a plan, but it is more successful with a plan, if that makes sense. So yeah, so that needs to be addressed there. But yeah, but otherwise, I don't see anything else that will be in your way, so to speak. So I think there's, you know, full steam ahead and good things to come, which is great, because I actually don't see any hurdles. I don't see any roadblocks, which is fabulous. So let me know if all that has helped you, and I appreciate you wanting a reading from me tonight. Okay. Who else have we got? I had Stella. Are you still here? Stella, are you still on the live? Anyone that was here while David was on, please leave your comments on what you thought. Whether you enjoyed it, whether you didn't enjoy it, whether you loved it, whether you hated it. Do you know what I mean? I know a few people, I can't even see it now. I know a few people were saying throughout throughout when I was talking to David that a few of those spirits were resonating with them. Tammy, it looks like one of that gentleman was for you. Interesting. I just saw I need to slap myself daily. I couldn't even move my chair then. It's how much I'm kind of stuck in position. So yeah, give me some feedback on what you all thought about David coming on and whatnot. Hi Chantel, nice to see you. Oh, you missed. I think you're here a bit late. You missed the David from Celebrity Get Me Out of Here. God love him. He's just such a gorgeous person. I actually think you're reading with David. You picked up on my husband's great-grandfather in the suit with the watch. Interesting. Sorry, you're on Queensland time. Oh, bugger. Sorry, Chantel. At the train station. Oh, Lisa, that's a lovely comment. Thank you. So, Stella, are you not here now? Do you want me to do your reading or do you want me to do you privately? Because you sent me a very long thing that I have not had a chance to read. The watch was passed down to my husband for his 21st. Isn't that fascinating? Tammy, look, I mean, yes, David's going to check it with his mum, which I appreciate that. But I also appreciate, you coming through with that information, because what I want to say, like, in all the years I've done Psychic TV, sometimes we're at the front more doing snapshot readings. Sometimes, and we used to tell the viewers this too, that sometimes when you read for someone, it will so resonate with somebody else, even though you're not reading for them. But because there's so many similarities, or someone's behavior is similar, someone's, say maybe sometimes the words they use, some people have certain words that they want to, when someone might, say, for instance, oh, g'day, mate, or whatever. Sometimes somebody has like a calling card, as I see it, in something to that effect. So it can, one reading for one can resonate with a lot, but Tammy, there does seem to be a lot, in that. Oh, Sonia, look at you gorgeous soul. Doesn't matter who you read for, you're amazing. How beautiful is that? You're just divine, absolutely divine. Oh, thank you. Thank you, everybody. I wasn't asking for compliments on me. I was kind of asking how you're enjoying the David coming through, I was so lucky to have got him, that's for sure. It was such wonderful when he wanted to come through. And you know what, him and I will do probably more things from this point forward. But yeah. Your son has a watch tattooed on his arm. Oh my goodness. Tammy, I'd love you, not necessarily tonight, but I'd love you to send me a picture of that. I'd actually like to have a look at that. Join the David coming through. Mark, I don't understand what you're saying there. Oh. The David is such a beautiful young man. He is. Tammy, he's a lovely person. He really is. Yes, now I found you. I'm getting one as soon as I can. I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Comsoy Crystal Infused. Comsoy Crystal Infused. Anyway. Hey, Eileen's just joined. Eileen, you're late. You missed the celeb. You missed the celeb. Oh, it's Charmaine. Oh, okay. I'll send through. Look, Tammy, that'd be awesome. Like, because it may very well have been, your hubby's great granddad, because, or it may just been like a coincidence as such. And as I said, David will check that out with his mum. But in hindsight, as I was saying to explain to David in the beginning when he first come on, was that sometimes when I open my gateway, there's that many spirits wanting to come through. And when I was laughing by saying, this man was pushing others aside, Dave resonated with that part, but probably nothing else as much, which is why I was going to go, ask his mum. But, and I just found with him that the people that were coming through for him were virtually around when he was a whole lot younger, which means that, he does need to step back. How do I say it without, and I'm sure he will understand when I say this, because I do say everything with the greatest respect, but he kind of has to step back from, the celebrity limelight right now and, absorb some of the things that he needs to and wants to do for himself, without kind of that, that all that impact from the show. Because we all know, like, even when we spoke to Jake last year, the stuff that goes on behind, the maths, the Married at First Sight show, is horrendous. So, it's just something that goes on with those shows. They are, classed as reality shows, and I love that he's got exposure. And I feel that some people might take advantage, but hopefully they don't. And hopefully, vulnerability and all sorts of things don't play a part in some of it. So, yeah. So, Stella, I can see that you're still online on Messenger, but you're not telling me that you're here on the show. Can you please confirm that? Because, Eileen, spend time with hubby, I still win. Of course you do. Of course you do, my love. Any time that you spend with your hubby and children is beautiful time. Okay. So Stella looks like she's gone. So I will do her reading. I'll send her a private one because she's paid. Now, is there anyone else that's paid that I haven't seen? Because with only having my device as such, I can't see a lot. So Deborah, I've done. Yeah, Stella, I'm trying to get hold of Stella. So I know that's done. Because she looks like she's gone. Why am I seeing those comments there? What a night. What a day, actually. No internet, no nothing. Nita, I've done. Okay. All right. Michael, are you still here? Michael's still here. Eileen's just jumped on. Mel, are you still here? Stella, I think, has gone to bed. I know she gets up quite early. Lisa, you still here? I like your cards all today. What gut feelings? It's a wonderful world, the old gut feelings, isn't it? Lisa's still here. Lisa, how did you enjoy the David? I hope he kind of brightened everyone's life a little bit tonight. It was something a little bit different. And something that, something I've been trying to get for a while. I've actually got to work out why that didn't allow me to see his face on here, but everybody else could. But anyway, so no one else has got any guaranteed readings that are paid for, so I'm just going to grab a couple and then I'm going to jump off. Okay. Tanu, I just want to come to you for a sec, because I feel like there's some pressing things going on in your life that you need, like you need some assistance with. I feel like you're kind of trapped in making some decisions in life, and I say that with the greatest respect. But what I see around you is a whole lot of confusion and a whole lot of wow, okay, and I see a whole lot of like butting heads. So I think there's way too much going on in your mind, and you know, in a way, I also think that I also think, you know, butting heads is what comes through. Too much going on in your mind. Again, I say things with the greatest respect. It seems like there's a little bit of overthinking that's going on there as well as, and there's a few what ifs that you kind of trying to substantiate something that's happened with a what if, and a what if actually isn't true. So you need to kind of draw back your focus a little bit and kind of go, okay, what can I draw on that's the actual truth? Because when we kind of go through life and we live on what ifs, or if we live on gossip or live on rumors or whatever, we don't actually get to the truth, and then the truth gets lost and everything else gets quite damaging to one parties or up to 10 parties. So you've got to be really, really careful. And if you're going through a separation as such, the truth really matters in this instance. That you can't overthink, you can't assume, you can't live off other people, or sorry, you can't take on board other people's gossip or again what ifs about the certain situations and certain circumstances. You've got to actually dig down for the truth. Okay, because the truth is what really matters, and the truth, it's an old saying where they say the truth will set you free. Sometimes you got to wait a long time for that, but sometimes if you know the truth and work through the truth, it ends up becoming a much better and greater relationship, because you've been able to work on the truth rather than accusing people or whatever else of doing and saying the wrong thing. And again, I say that with respect. So it might be time to kind of pull out a notebook, jot some things down, go back on looking at some comments, some things being said in the heat of the moment. And I do say that with respect, because I live by the spoken word, but I do believe that some things have been said in the heat of the moment. You can't retract those, and neither can he, but you can talk about it. Okay. Thank you, Tammy. Because you need to work on the truth rather than, it's a crazy word, but rather than fantasy, maybe what ifs and could ifs and whatever else. Okay, so at the end of the day, you're asking about a reconciliation. At the end of the day, first things first, you've got to work through all the truth and separate all the crap. Excuse my French, but you've got to separate all the crap, separate some of the emotions, and work on the truth. It's only then, when both of you sit down and only work through truth, that something will come to light. Something is going to come across where you're going to go, oh my God, I didn't realize that was a lie. I didn't realize I heard that the wrong way. All these sorts of things. And only then can you start the path of recovery. Okay. So that's what you need to do there. So I hope that helps you. I have to look at, crystal infused. I love how that rolls off the tongue. Any messages with finance, and do you see my daughter doing well in uni, and my son, should he go back to his high school or stay his within our program he's in? Will it affect his career? He wants to know. Ryan, you so much. I don't understand that. Tanu, I don't understand that message. Sorry. Okay, coming back to my crystal lady. Crystalline views. I love that. Okay, I'm going to quickly kind of touch on the children. Daughter will be absolutely fine. Don't see any issues there. I don't see any blockages apart from after the first year, she has to keep level-headed about where she's going with things. Otherwise, she could get kind of caught up in a few different things that aren't quite necessary, and there's no reason to go down that avenue of she has to do these things just to fit in, because that's the wrong avenue. So maybe keep an eye out there. Excuse me, your son, in regards to NRL, that's really, really important. But you've got to be mindful of that other things don't slip, because if you let something slide just to go do that, then he could come a cropper under other things. So you just be very mindful of that. Virtually keep him on the what do I say? What's the wording? Keeps him on the straight and narrow with where he's headed in life, because he can do both. Okay, he can do both. In regards to your finances, yes, things will pick up, but probably not as quickly as you'd like them to. Because there seems to be, I don't know whether it's because of the money for the kids, but there seems to be kind of a little, not major, but there seems to be little hurdles is what I like, or little roadblocks or whatever, a little road like in the way. But finances will end up coming okay. But I think there's a number of expenses, virtually August, September, and again in October. So there's going to be virtually 3 months in a row that you're going to be hit with some expenditure. But yeah, they're things that virtually are going to help in the long run, but kind of not help when they sort of come to light. Oh my God, that's that watch. Tammy, I just got your PayPal. Lisa, I'm doing the Easter show. Oh my goodness, I've got a little cockroach that's come to say hello. Get out of here. How dare you? I'm doing the Easter show. Are you going to come along to that? Are you putting your business in the Easter show with Angel, or are you doing some of those other events with her? You're very welcome. Very welcome. Tammy, what's your question, my love? Because I got it'll be a decision to make when you work everything else out. Tammy, I got your pictures of the watch. Man, it's so much like what I saw. Wow, 1912. That's the year that my pop was born, and his birthday is today. Buck Jump Rider, 1912. Seriously. Tammy, that's extraordinary, because that's, as I said, it's my pop's birthday today, in 1912. Same year. You're doing West Leagues with Angel, and I've thrown myself in the deep end and going to be doing. Good on you. Good on you. So you're not going to come and do the Easter show? That's always fun. That's always fun. It's a big event, but it's fun. So anyone's watching, if you're in Sydney, or you come into Sydney for the Easter show, we'll have in the Lifestyle Pavilion, or you go through the Woolworths Pavilion and you come to Lifestyle, Royal Psychic Reading Room. I will be there from opening day, Friday the 8th to the 13th. All day, every day, 6 days straight, doing readings. So come on through at the Easter show. The watch is so amazing and cherished very much. My question is, will my daughter fall pregnant? Oh, Tammy, that's a bit of a no-no. The reason why I say that is because I don't have your daughter's permission, and it is I don't have a problem with any type of reading as such. Any subject is never off limits, but this is about her life and her pregnancy, and that's personal to her. So I wouldn't want to disclose anything without her permission. So if you have another question, that'd be great. I can always address that one privately if she wants to, ask that question herself. So Tammy, if you have another one, that would be awesome, because I really don't want to break protocols as such, because that one is more about ethical, being ethical and being authentic. Okay. Lisa, last time I went to the Easter show, my phone's going crazy now. Is anyone from this live feed messaging me via my website or via my mobile phone? Just need to double check that, because it's just a bit of a weird thing just came up then. Last time I went to the show, I was very overwhelmed. The energy threw me for 6, but I was just getting into Reiki at that time. Lisa, if you want to take the opportunity, please try and do it again. Just learn, and you will know in your line of work as well as learn how to block yourself, because also too, you got to realize, even because I know you do some readings. So when we're doing readings, because it is Easter show is massive, right? And there's so many people there. You have to kind of sit and block out all that noise to be able to focus on opening up your crown chakra to hear from spirit. So, there's all that goes on. So I certainly understand where you're coming from about being overwhelmed being your first time there. But just please give it another. Don't not do it because of that. Don't not do it, because I think in the long run you'll benefit from the amount of people, the amount of interaction, the amount of people that you get to introduce yourself to, and all that sort of stuff. And I think it'll be very, very good for you. So if you can maybe look into that, that would be great. Okay. Hey, Janina, you're a bit late. You must have been busy. You missed the celeb, my love. Anyway, that's all good. I can tell you can watch it back yourself later. Or as we always do, chat and go through a whole lot of stuff. But anyway, okay, back to you, Tammy. Another question. Do you have any messages from my nan? Or do you have any messages from the watch? That watch is a really interesting picture. I do kind of wonder whether that gentleman still is for David, though, because I had his, even though I didn't have his picture, I had his voice, and everybody, as I said, everybody was pushing forward. But if, excuse me, while I actually do look at his watch, at the picture you sent. Sorry, I'm just gonna. Yes, this year, as my middle son is extremely stressful, he'll buying up, he needs to go to school and always needs. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you so much. I know it's your first time here. Good to see you're working, Janina. Well done. Well done. Lisa, look, no problem. And there's many of us also too that can help you. Like, just for instance, if you were there and you had an overwhelming moment, if one of us were not busy, we would always jump in and help you. Do you know what I mean? So it's a family united. So don't ever be. Some wouldn't, because they're too busy with it. Let me say it out loud. They're too busy with their own egos. But there's some of us, of course, that would just, if we saw that situation, as I said, if we weren't busy, we would just jump in and help you through that overwhelming moment, and get you used to that sort of, thing, if that helps you at all. But yeah, totally up to you, my love. But we'll see. Let's see what partakes. All right. Back to Tammy. Tammy, I do actually want to say, you said something about your nan earlier, and then this is your partner's great granddad's watch, isn't it? But I actually want to say to you that I actually have two people of those sorts of similarities alongside me as I speak, and one person keeps tugging at the back of my neck, which is making me kind of go all the time. So actually, I actually want to say to you, I think one of them actually had neck injuries as such. May not have caused their death, of course, but around the neck and around the throat area seem to be very significant for one of them, and I feel that it is the male counterpart rather than the female counterpart, if that makes sense. So, I kind of want to bring in something that's a little bit personal, where have to say it as I hear it, that you're not treating yourself. Sorry, I'll rephrase it. You're not valuing yourself to the best of your ability right now, and I want to say to you, there seems to be two. I hear it and I see it. Two people pressing the. Someone like, where's my camera? Pressing the two prongs at me. So someone is being a snake. Someone is being a snake and has how do I want to say this, misguided you with some information about feelings, about their actual life in general. Wow, that sounds a bit harsh. But somebody is not telling you the truth about something, and then somebody else, because I still get that too, even though I got the prongs. Somebody else is also not telling you the truth. So I've got somebody that is snaky and not so great, but then someone else is not telling you the truth. But I also believe the person where I first got with the prongs as such is somebody that has, it's not harm. Snakes harm, but it's not harm. It's more like a verbal spray. It's more like somebody has said some wrong things to you, and part of your emotional roller coaster with this is that you have embodied some of these words. Don't believe any of that shit. I'm going to call it for exactly what it is. It's someone that's envious of who you are, but in the process of someone being envious of you, your own self-value, your own self-worth has taken a dive because of this. I mean, you're stronger than this. You're much stronger than this, and I know at times we all get very vulnerable, and we all, I mean, everyone keeps telling me how strong I am, but there's some days where I could fall in a heap because I just have a build-up of emotions or a build-up of certain things going on. So we all need a release mechanism. So you don't have to be strong for everybody all the time. There's time for you. There's time for you to have an emotional outburst, not necessarily at anybody, but like an emotional dumping. I want to say it that way rather than outburst, because that can be taken the wrong way. You need to release. You need to, I don't like the word letting go, but you need to release some of these emotions that other people have created within you. Doesn't feel very good to me. And I'm hearing this, and I'm also, okay, the gentleman with the watch, it's almost like looking at the watch going, this, okay, wow, this time and time again, this has happened to you previously, and by one person, but one person has done it again, and so I'm hearing that one person's done it previously, and they've also done something just recently again. You gave them a second chance, but This is kind of a pattern that's gone on. This is a pattern that's gone on in life. And life shows us the same pattern if we don't learn to get off that merry-go-round, okay? Own your worth and disregard people that want to disregard your worth. You know, I have made some tough decisions of late with, you know, somebody that I really thought had my back. Turns out they didn't, you know, and that hurt. Like, that hurt to the core. And I've given this person numerous chances to come good because they knew the right words to say. I mean, I'm better than that. I know, like, you know, studying psychology and stuff like that, I know all the romance words. I know all the words that people say to make you feel good. But I also know when it's not true, because actions speak louder than words. And if someone continually says the words, but they don't back it up with actions, well, then they're just full of shit. And you got to call it for what it is. Because deep down, it will hurt you over and over again. But because if you're not learning the lesson from it, it allows your vulnerabilities to allow someone else to do it. Do you know what I mean? So these sorts of things, you know, you've got to, unfortunately, I sound like I'm lecturing, I'm sorry. But it's like you've got to kind of wake up and kind of go, do you know what? Wow, that's a tough lesson. And it hurts. Allow yourself to feel the hurt and release the hurt at the same time. Feel it, work through it, let it hurt, and then release it. Because by storing it in, you know, generally we used to think that if we stored it in, we put up a barrier, and when we see it coming, you know, we stop it immediately. But unfortunately, it weakens your vulnerability. So you actually don't see it coming again. You'll kind of see that if someone, you know, if you might know people that maybe have, you know, been mistreated by like their father throughout their life, but then the person that they date and then marry could be just as controlling or just as belittling or whatever as whatever their father was. So they haven't learned the lesson. It's about only allowing people in your life that value who you are. If someone doesn't value who they are, go. It's tough. Like, sometimes people say that when I say things like that, I sound so cruel. But it's a case of going, do you know what? How cruel is it for me to let you keep accepting these type of people into your life? You know, I'm prime example. I thought a lot of people liked who I was when I was younger. It turns out they only wanted me for my knowledge. They only wanted me because I was psychic. They only wanted to know what was coming up for them. They didn't want me for anything else. You know, I still know some of those people. I still don't get invited anywhere by those people. I don't get a phone call from those people. I don't get a message that says, hey, I'm in the area, let's catch up for coffee. I don't get any of that. But I also go, do you know what? If they don't value who I am, then I don't want that message. I don't want to sit across the table from someone who really doesn't care about who I am, but wants me to tell them what's going on in their life. Do you know what I mean? It's hard. And I just feel with you, you're open-hearted, you're kind-hearted, you've been burnt before, and I've just been shown the number 3, so I'm hoping you haven't been burnt 3 times, but I feel that you have. It's now time to not let number 4 take place. It's now time for, and as much as this sounds a bit blunt, but you know I'm saying it with respect, it's now time for you to step up and go, do you know what? I don't need to have people like me. I need to like who I am. I need to look in the mirror and virtually say, I like who I am. I'm not perfect, but then nobody's perfect, love. So in my world, if someone wants to tell me they're perfect, well, then I don't listen from that point on, because that's just ego and charisma and all that shit going on. But say it in a mirror. Say that you like who you are, and you know that you're not perfect, because by saying it allows you to feel it. But you've got to know that you're worthy of so much more, and stop the cycle. Stop getting on that merry-go-round and allowing these people to kind of go, you know, she's a bit of an easy target. And as I said, I mean, I don't mean that the way it sounds, because you know I say everything with respect. And it wasn't a sexual thing. It's more about mentally, energetically. Like, listen to your gut feelings. Give someone the benefit of the doubt the first time you meet them by your gut feelings. Wait till you get the second gut feeling on that person, because that's when things change. Yeah. It's when things change. It's when you really need to sort of like, sit up and go, hey, what's my gut trying to tell me? But, like who you are a little bit more. Because I feel there's some sadness behind you. But I also feel that, that you can't change what was done there. But I also don't want you to feel that sadness for too much longer. I know that sounds a bit harsh to you, but it's a case of going, do you know what? I'm allowing myself to feel sad, or I'm allowing myself to feel angry or whatnot, but now I'm also allowing myself to release it in a really calm manner. And then you're not taking on the stress that goes with it, if that makes sense. In regards to the great granddad that owns the watch, very powerful man, very positive man, but also someone who, like myself, like calls a spade, but doesn't take fools lightly, and I like that about this spirit, because I can resonate with it too. But it's like the watch is telling me, I lived a hard life, but I lived a fair life. And by living a fair life means I lived with honesty, I lived with integrity. If somebody did me wrong, I gave them a second chance, but I certainly didn't give them a third chance. Sometimes I always say, in some circumstances they need a third chance, but in some cases not. You're the decision maker in that one. But the love and respect that comes through with that watch is it's extraordinary. It's almost like, and some people are going to think I'm weird when I say this, but it's almost like there's a letter of love encapsulated in it without there being a letter in there. Do you know what I mean? Like, when I look at it, it's almost like a letter of love without the letter being in there. But it has so much loving energy with it. So I really think that's very, very special. Let me know how you go with all that, because it's I just feel like you're the person that's holding yourself back, and if you need some help, later on with any of that, please let me know, because then I'll use the other side of my business, and work with you with that, just to get you to a point where you can understand certain things a little bit better. Yeah, so you won't be with me forever type thing, if you know what I mean. But there's just certain things that need to you need probably a little bit of a push with, and maybe someone that, like myself, that can direct you in a way where you don't take offense, and that you take it on board and you understand the place that I'm coming from with it. Do you know what I mean? So if you want to do that at some point, I'm more than happy to do that. So that's all good. All right. Oh, Lisa, do you know what? I was just about to say, I was going to go, because it's been over 2.5 hours and my voice is going, and I have a meeting tomorrow that I need my voice for, but that's okay. I don't want to strain it too much more. Lisa, you're yeah, like I do say her, and look, people often don't like me for that, but I'm not going to, I'm going to tell you some truths, right? When I was young, because of my psychic abilities, and people didn't quite understand it, I used to think I had to try and please people, like try and make them like me. Try and, and at first, like, if that was me, like, sharing my gifts and whatever, before everybody got frightened and thought I was the devil and all that sort of hoo-ha. But it was almost a case of, I really thought I had to give and give and give and give for someone to like me, because I came from a family that was so screwed up, and let's face it, they still are. And there was a lot of violence, a lot of there was no unconditional love from any of my mum and dad and stuff like that. And it was almost like I was hung out to dry as a child because I was psychic. But I actually felt like I had to give and give and give and give to my friends in the street or at school just so they would like me, because I was a little bit different and I was outspoken. I did call it, I did call a spade, but I was never frightened of doing that. And I lost numerous people along the way. And then, when we get to the dating scene and stuff like that, it's, no, Robin's too much. Robin likes colour. Robin likes bling. Robin's loud. Robin's fun. Oh, no, I don't want to date her because I can't see her being my wife. And I still speak to some of those people that say, I love you, but I could never have you as a partner. You're just too much for me. And I used to get offended at that, but now I kind of go, do you know what? That's your insecurities and not mine. Because I put myself through school and I've put myself through many years of studies since. And I'm a very intelligent person. I'll take it on with the big guns if I have to, And God help anyone that really questions, my psychic abilities now, because I had people tell me or demand that I suppressed it when I was young. Oh, nobody likes you because you're different. Everybody hates you because you're psychic. You're the devil. Now, if you embody all that sort of stuff, where would I be today? My mother, unconditional love, told me I could not accept the offer I got originally from Psychic TV, like now 10 years ago, to start with them because I was too fat for TV. I mean, oh my God, like my instant response was, I'm not there to sell exercise equipment. They want me for my abilities. Go shove your own head in the sand. Like, care factor, that was just ridiculous, Don't put someone down because you don't understand what they do or you don't appreciate what they do or it's not your cup of tea. Just go with the flow. Like, I don't have any judgment on people, but sometimes you have to say a few things negative to not have that judgment for the rest of your life. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that kind of come out of that. So, be who you are. Don't change for anybody. Man, if I changed who I was for every person who asked me to, I don't even know who I'd be right now. I don't even think I'd like myself because I don't have a problem with who I am, and for what I do. Do you know what I mean? So, there's many layers to me, and this is why I studied, psychology and counseling and all that sort of stuff, because there's so many layers to me, and there's so many people who don't want to be in my life for many, many reasons, which are absolutely ridiculous. Oh, I don't like psychic, so I don't want to be in your life. Well, every time you catch up with me, I'm not going to talk about psychic. Like, that's just a crazy comment to make. So people say they're intimidated. No, sorry, people say that I'm intimidating, but the truth be known is I'm not intimidating. They're intimidated by me for whatever reason of their own insecurity. So I'm not the intimidator. Do you know what I mean? And this is where some women have to kind of just sit back and go, do you know what? I need to reevaluate myself. I need to look at what I'm saying or doing or what messages I'm putting out there to be who I am. And if someone can't accept you for who, and I lived by this for a long time, if somebody cannot accept me for the way I am, then they don't need to be in my life, because that just brings negativity. It's as simple as that. It's a long road. It's a hard road, but it's a simple message. If somebody doesn't like you for who you are, then there's no reason to have them in your life, because they will always bring you down. Yeah. And those words have power within themselves, because it's then you respecting who you are and you knowing that you're not going to change for everybody. I mean, gone are the days of men who always spoke about women being barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. Like, seriously? No. Anyway. Correct, Lisa. It's their loss. And then, look, when you asked about your sister, the one thing that I did hear and it kind of touched on what I'd already said to you in the first instance, is stop being scared of who you are. Stop holding back. I mean, you've just put up there that you don't give up about what people say about you because you've lost, family and friends, and that's okay. As you say, it's their loss, and I've lost exactly the same. Funny though, I had a message from a mother today, and I went back with something that she should have commented on, and then she just rattled on about herself, of course, and I just deleted it all. However, you need to kind of go. You need to reread what you wrote about you don't give up about what people say about you, because at times you actually do, because and I say that with respect, because I did the same thing for years. I always said I don't care what anyone says about me, but deep down in my own home I would be upset about it, because then I kind of questioned whether I was good enough, or whether was there something I was doing wrong. Like, why don't people like me? Like, they tell me I'm the life of the party, but I don't get invited anywhere. They tell me they want to have a romance with me. Oh, but it has to be behind closed doors because you're too much. All this crap, that's just for everybody to appease their own thing about what they want from you to change, okay? But Lisa, with you, what I heard from your sister is that when you do take actually things to heart, and there might be times where you just go, F you, I don't care, I'm not listening, and blah, 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 and I'm not taking it on board because it's not me, and all that sort of stuff. But there's times when you actually do, and the reason why I can say that is because you then doubt. You get to a point then that you doubt your own ability and what you can do with the services that you give. And that's got to stop, because the minute you doubt what you can do, then you don't give your clients the full Lisa. Full Monty, no, full Lisa. Do you know what I mean? By not giving your clients the full Lisa, then you're not being true to you, but they're not getting all that experience, all that knowledge, all that hands-on stuff, right? You have to be confident in yourself. Even if you doubt yourself a little bit, show confidence, be confident, because that will give you more confidence for the next time around, if that makes sense. So we touched on you being a bit overwhelmed with all the energies and everything at the, in a big event. Again, a similar thing. And I'm not saying it's a cop-out, but if you say it too many times and that's why you don't, then it could be a cop-out. I mean, I'm not a party animal, right? When people say, "Oh, I love a party," but I'm not a party animal. Like, I won't kind of go, "Oh my God, someone's having a party, so I have to be there." I mean, that was me a long time ago, and people celebrate all sorts of things, but it's not really my cup of tea, right? And I don't mean to offend anybody that if I don't go somewhere, it's because we all have choices, and if that person gets offended that I don't go, well, then I'm sorry about that. I can't change that, but I'm sure that something else can be done, or whatever else. So I have things that I just don't like doing, but I also feel that I don't have to explain that all the time. Do you know what I mean? That's just who I am. I'm not a driver, but then I don't like being a passenger in a car for a long time. I don't like getting on trains, because I grew up in an area that didn't have any trains, and every time I get on a train, I just don't enjoy it. So I don't, I'm not a train person as such. If I was with people and we're all laughing and joking and carrying on or whatever, it may make the trip a whole lot different. But when you do a lot of things on your own, you get to like certain things and you get to not like certain things. So you do, everybody does what they want to do in life. So I just kind of want you to, Lisa, to understand that your sister was a part of your life that is, or what I want to say, is an encourager. And she kind of missed out on a few things in life. Why? Because she was a bit too scared to take that leap of faith. She was a bit too scared to show some vulnerability. She was a bit too scared to be who she could have been. But I don't want you to make the same mistake, because she's kind of pushing you to say, do you know what? If you've trained in something, you're good at what you do, you've got great reviews, what's stopping you? What's stopping you build on that? What is stopping you getting out there and saying, You know, I am Lisa Kasha. And in some of my programs in counselling, when someone thinks that they're not good enough to be a psychic, they're not good enough to do platform shows, they're not good enough to put a program together, they're not good enough to do an event, you sit back and you say your name, you know, I am Lisa Kasha, I want to do this and I will do this, I will achieve this because I want to do it. Get your confidence back that way. And you know what? If you need any help, you know where to find me. Because if you need that person to bring that person out in you, then that's going to be me. Do you know what I mean? Because I do everything without judgment. I do everything with integrity, and I do everything with respect. I'm not going to be any other different for anyone. Do you know what I mean? So that's where your sister is coming from. She missed out on a few things because, yeah. Sometimes it's hard to take that leap of faith, but sometimes you got to trust in yourself. Do you know what I mean? Because if other people throw crap at you, if you throw crap at yourself, where are you going to be? Where are you going to be? Look, sometimes, you know, sometimes if I've had a crappy week or a crappy drama with someone or whatever, I might question myself for 5 seconds and go, did I play a part in that? Did I bring that on? Or did I misread that? Or did I look at that the wrong way? I might question myself, write a few things down, look at it and go, no, I'm good. That's all you got to do, right? All you got to do. Thank you, Bernice. That is so nice of you to say. On that note, we've gone 2 hours, 45 minutes. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart for joining me tonight. I know I strung you guys along on Facebook about who my mystery celeb was. It was such a pleasure to have the David on my show. God love him. I value who he is. He's a great human being, and you know, I love to associate with great human beings because that's who I am. And I associate with a lot of you guys that watch my show. I always give you the time of day, you know that. I love and respect you all because you're all so kind. You've all left some lovely feedback tonight, which is awesome. You know, it's something that's me. Okay. The David has just put something on his story. Didn't take him long, did it? But anyway, thank you all for coming. It's a pleasure as always, as you know. I love doing what I do. I thank you, Spirit, for allowing me to, you know, get into your world tonight. Thank you, everybody who's still watching, to allow me to, you know, to come into your world as well, and you know, talk about a few different things, but also thanking everybody who allowed me to connect with their loved ones and bring through messages, because it's always a pleasure. It's always very much a pleasure, and I look forward to being back very, very soon. Hey, Tracker, it's my sister partner in crime. Everyone used to think we were sisters when we were young, so God love her. Thank you for staying this long, Tracy. I appreciate that. Appreciate you all for watching. As I said, pleasure as always, and I will hopefully see you next week. I really hope there is no more internet dramas, bloody blackouts, whatever else, because yeah, today was just a nightmare. Anyway, look forward to catching up with you all again soon. Thank you so much for your time again. If David, if you're still about, thank you so much for the pleasure of having you on board tonight. And with that, I'm going to say good night. Thank you all for coming.